Welcome to our perspectives. We established this program as a means to have African diasporans participate in the discourse on the African continent, and also for African diasporans to have a voice in their host communities. As part of that endeavor, we have with us today in the studio two African diasporans that are contributing their voices, their skills, and their talents to the discourse. We have with us Ms. Fatmata Koroma.
Hello.
And Ms. Sheri Sesay-Tuffour.
Hello, thank you.
Ms. Fatmata Koroma is the chair and founding member or chairman of Kushe Magazine. She's also the host and producer of Celebrity Health Talk. Ms. Fatmata, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And Ms. Sheri Sesay-Tuffour is the co-founder of Kushe Magazine and the editor of Kushe Magazine. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
Thank you. It's our honor. And what is the origin? What is the origin of the name Kushe Magazine itself? What was the inspiration behind the magazine, and what is the origin of that name, Kushe?
Thank you for asking, and I think it's a great question to kick off today's segment. Kushe, and our origin of Sierra Leone, means welcome.
Welcome.
It means welcome, good day, how are you? There's a number of variations in the word Kushe, but when someone sees you and approaches you and says Kushe, they're greeting you with warm and open regards.
Yeah, I thank you for your answer, but I think I have it, based on my research and reliable sources, that it doesn't only come from Sierra Leone, it also generates somewhere in Nigeria. So
That's
if you
right.
can expand on that, Fatmata, do you know about that? I think the Yorubas might be elbowing you guys on that one.
Well, I do want to, make light to the fact that Sierra Leone, as was mentioned previously, it is a melting pot.
Definitely.
People, we have people called Creole that actually share some Nigerian heritage.
Mm-hmm.
So, and actually we have a lot of mixtures in Sierra Leone. So we have even Portuguese is one of, as a background there too. So, and some of our language, you may be similar to the Portuguese language. So you do have a lot of similarities. So I do agree with that, Nigeria may share. So we're very similar cultures.
Okay, definitely.
So I do agree that they probably.
Yeah. And what was the inspiration? What was the inspiration behind the establishment of Kushe Magazine?
Well, we are born and raised in the USA. Mm-hmm. Our parents are born and raised in Sierra Leone. Many of them have migrated, other family members over the years. And, we've been blessed to be educated here, to start businesses in this country, and we felt that we needed to give back to our community in one way or another. Mm-hmm. And of course, there's so many ways that we can give back as time goes on, but the first thing that we wanted to do is create a forum whereby individuals can actually share their stories and talk about the actions and achievements of the people of Sierra Leone. So many times we hear the bad and we don't hear the good. Definitely. So this magazine was created not as a means to judge. It's not a gossip magazine, but it's a way for us to talk about the charitable efforts that people are making, the successes that people are doing who carried the Sierra Leone culture, like the young lady by the name of Michaela de Prince, who dances for the World Dutch Ballet. Wow. Like the gentleman Richmond Garrick, who's an artist, and he's from Sierra Leone, based here in the USA, but his work can be found in museums. It can be found in libraries. It can be found in schools. Wow. And so there's so many people who have ties with Sierra Leone that are doing good. And we created this medium so that we can share the good that they're doing across the diaspora.
Thank you for that answer. And in terms, you mentioned diaspora, who are your targeted audience, and how are you ensuring that they get access to this product, the Kushe Magazine?
Our targeted audience is definitely people in the U.S. We have plenty of people in Europe. Even some of our featured articles have been some people from the United Kingdom and
Okay.
Europe. And also we have Sierra Leoneans in Australia. But we don't only focus on Sierra Leoneans, even though that's pretty much our main target audience. But we do have sections in there where we do feature different people from different nationalities.
Okay.
Like for this issue, for instance, we have something called Spotlight on Africa, and where we featured a woman called Chef Marie Jo from Senegal and a man named Gil Inglis from Angola.
Wow.
So we do want to expand. We do want to incorporate other people than Sierra Leoneans, but we definitely want this product is mainly to have a platform for the Sierra Leonean community, and also for others to see some of our significant people what they are doing in our community. So, in the age range, anywhere from 20 to 60, probably. Is our age range of people. So we have a broad spectrum of ages.
So if I hear you correctly, you're also targeting Sierra Leonean diasporans in places like Australia, the United
Yes.
Kingdom, and all over
Yes.
Europe also.
Yes, I get many people call me from those areas. In fact, our first issue our cover was a woman from an organization called Milkwood's Mission, and she's stationed in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
But she's not even from here.
Okay.
Also, we do feature people from directly from the continent. In fact, we're going to
Wonderful.
take in April, I'll be traveling to Sierra Leone, and we will definitely launch a magazine in Sierra Leone,
Okay.
and we're hoping to have publication there too.
Speaking
So-
of that, is Kushe Magazine, is it an exclusive online publication, or you going to have the physical paper itself being published when you go back in April?
Well, right now we do have online. We're getting ready to launch our magazine this Friday, March 7th.
Okay.
We will have limited copies available. We do want to have people, have them be able to purchase it if they're interested, but generally it's more of an online magazine, but maybe we might progress to, print copy, even though most magazines right now
Are going the opposite,
online.
yeah.
So, yeah, but people just like to have that in hand. I mean, I get requests upon a request for when can I have a physical copy? That's what they want. They're so used to the old style of holding a magazine in their hand and reading instead of going online to do that.
Okay.
And in regards to the target population, that's a great question. I would add that, we do have topics that meet the needs of a diverse audience.
Okay.
So we talk about politics. And we don't want to be too heavy on politics because you find that a lot of media sources, especially in Sierra Leone, are so heavily focused on politics. But we do also lighten it up a little bit. We talk about lifestyle, there's news about entertainment, there's business, there's a lot of health information there because many members in our community work hard, they're very smart people, but they don't tend to take care of their health as much.
So there
And
needs to be a broad spectrum.
That's right.
Yes.
So the topics do vary. There's a broad spectrum. We just started a kids corner. We also, in the last volume, we introduced different fashion tips. And so again, it's really important that we capture the interests of a wide variety of individuals out there.
Yeah.
And the online publication is it is a great way to start out. When you're first starting a business, and the distribution is wide.
Okay.
Trying to print and distribute worldwide can be difficult, but at least for now, we know that people around the world have access to internet.
Exactly.
And they have a means to actually looking at the value of the magazine.
And even if they don't have a computer, the phone
Yeah,
these
sure,
days
exactly.
is a computer.
Yeah,
So
but we do have our magazine. You're able to access it through tablets, your smartphone. So we made that access available.
Okay. And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back to our perspective.
Thank you.
Again, welcome back to our perspectives. We have in the studio here Ms. Fatmata Koroma and Ms. Sheri Sesay-Tuffour. And you both are the co-founders of the Kushe Magazine. And tell our audience who are some of the people you've worked with, in terms of, trying to establish the magazine. Fatmata?
Originally, we did have a group of people that we started off with. Some guys we worked with from African Radio, Hafiz, Edward Cogbo, Akinade Decker, also Matala Kamara. He's a journalist actually in Sierra Leone.
Okay.
So we had several people that initially started with us, but I think that we it kind of was originally my vision, and I
Okay.
kind of shared it with everyone to come on board as a team, and Sheri and I kind of stuck together to really make it happen.
Okay.
So and that's how that initially started. So right now, as we speak, it's Sheri and I are the only two individuals that are doing this process. We do have a lot of support systems,
Same.
but right now we kind of finance it and everything.
Okay. Sheri, speaking of that, or on a more related issue, do you have any collaborations with any officials within the government of Sierra Leone? Do you have any people you're collaborating with back home?
Well, I think we're going to get there for sure.
Okay.
But the first stop is really trying to get buy-in here where we are. So besides trying to get buy-in with our members of the community, I will say Fatmata has spent a lot of legwork at the
Okay.
embassy, speaking with the Sierra Leone ambassador to the United States, the Honorable Bakari Stevens. She also met with the ministry, the presidential delegation, when they came to the U.S., and she had some one-on-one time with the Minister of Youth, Mr. Almami Kamara. And so we are definitely slowly but surely opening the doors to the conversation so that they can understand the importance, the significance that Kushe can serve on a worldwide basis. But the first stop, before we try to get to the individuals in Africa, would be to work with the embassy individuals here in the U.S., and that's what we've been working on.
Okay. And Fatmata, what are your general feelings about the state of affairs, in Freetown?
Well, it's a progress. I mean, I do see. I know the administration do post a lot of pictures on buildings that's going up. I think they're trying their best to make things happen in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is a developing country. It's not like the U.S. So things happen slowly. And actually, we came out of an 11-year war not too long ago. So actually, considering that, we're doing very well. Actually, we are considered one of the fastest growing economies. President Koroma, he's the president of Sierra Leone, Ernest Bai Koroma. He is always in the U.S. He is heavily respected by President Obama. They made him a member of a group where they're trying to partnership. America's trying to partnership with the African continent in diplomacy, democracy, and I think they've selected President Koroma as one of those individuals to be a part of this group. So I think they're making a lot of effort to progress Sierra Leone. And there's always downsides to it. People hear about the corruption, lack of education, also employment issues for our youth. It's lots of things that needs to move forward. But I think, they're trying their best. Hopefully by the time he completes his term, he has corrected some of these issues.
And speaking of that, I'll be remiss, if I didn't ask this question, you mentioned President Ernest Koroma of Sierra Leone, and your surname happens to be the same. So is there any relationship there?
My family has not made any claims as of yet. But I know I did have a relative that was appointed by President Koroma, who's his deceased, and then also I think my father. Now I come from a mixture of different tribes.
Okay.
But on my father's side, they come from the northern region, the same region as President Koroma, so around that same area.
Okay. So Kushe Magazine is independent of any influence,
yeah,
or
it's
due
independent.
influence of the government.
Yeah. There's no government input in it at all.
Okay.
I mean, we definitely talk to them, and they just encourage them to be a part of it. But as far as it doesn't have any political affiliation at all.
right.
Okay. And Ms. Sheri, what are your expectations for this publication? Where do you see you guys going with this publication?
I want the expectation to be that of the community members across the diaspora of Sierra Leone and the broader African community. I want them to know that this is their source to share their stories, that their voice can be heard, and whatever they can put in the magazine to help to propel the issues that we are facing back home. We're trying to develop our youth. We're trying to bring healthcare initiatives to Sierra Leone, sanitation issues, entertainment, lifestyle. But I want them to know that they can use this medium as a place to share those stories and to share those voices. And hopefully, you know, with the event that we're having coming up on Friday, which is March 7th.
Where are we having this event?
7 to 9 p.m. at Lux Lounge in Washington, D.C. on New York Avenue. We hope that people will come out and support this effort, because the more that Kushe can grow, the more then we can really support the community. Okay. And so again, this is not really about Fatmata and I. This is a forum where the world of Sierra Leoneans can actually share their voice. And we do it for the people, which is why we say we innovate, we cultivate, and we inspire through Kushe Magazine.
Wonderful. And before we wrap up, Fatmata, any last word for our audience regarding?
Well, like Sheri said, sometimes I feel like in the community, the message loses focus. And that's the problem sometimes I have. It's so difficult. I don't know if other cultures kind of have these same problems, but sometimes I know our community is very small, Sierra Leone community, so it's a lot of competitiveness goes on, and the message loses its value. And I just want to definitely I'm glad I do these interviews, and Sheri and I go on radio stations and just basically always state what our message is. And it's a platform, it's a media. Kushe Magazine is a media and a platform to basically express ourselves and to showcase some of the great works and things that our community is doing. And I think that is much needed, because we see so much negativity and we don't have enough of that. And we just and that's what it's there for. Not, like Sheri said, it's not about us, you know. So it's about making a platform for
balancing
people.
The information.
Yes.
That's right.
The spectrum. Okay. And again, thank you, ladies, for honoring us with your presence here. Fatmata, Koroma, and Sheri Sesay-Tuffour. Thank you very much for coming.